Just pure madness. 100,000 pounds, his ancestral plantation on James Island, and a promise to divorce his wife and abandon his children. He was willing to literally burn his entire family legacy to the ground, all for a woman he'd only seen twice. Jean wasn't just inspiring desire, she was weaponizing it.
Okay, so with these patriarchs driven to financial and moral ruin, the stage was officially set for the final, brutal act. And their collapse, it was shockingly fast. The precision of what came next would terrify the city of Charleston for years to come. In less than a single week, the pillars of the city were just gone. On July 15th, Nathaniel Beaumont dies suddenly. They say his face was frozen in an expression of pure terror. 3 days later, Thomas Delacroix is locked away in an asylum. And 2 days after that, a totally ruined and abandoned Richard Montrose vanishes, last seen just walking away from the city with absolutely nothing. But Jean, she saved her biggest and most dramatic act for the very end. The family that first brought her into the city, the Delacroix, they weren't just going to fall. Oh no, they were going to be completely erased from the map of Charleston.
That very night, the Delacroix mansion just goes up in flames. Felipe and Celeste died in the fire. Investigators later concluded that Felipe probably started it himself in one last desperate act. And in all the chaos, Jean vanished from her third-floor room. A room, by the way, that was found locked from the inside. She was simply gone. So after the smoke finally cleared, and everyone realized the sheer scale of what had happened, the people of Charleston were left just trying to figure it all out. But here's the thing. This story wasn't really about a curse. It was about a debt finally being paid in full.
These are the questions the terrified survivors were asking. Was she a witch who cast some kind of spell? A demon sent from hell? Was the whole city cursed? You know, they were trying to explain something impossible, using the only language they had, but they were asking all the wrong questions.
Because from Jean's point of view, this had nothing to do with the supernatural at all. This was about justice. She saw herself as a human instrument, a direct consequence of a system so brutal and so dehumanizing that it could create a person capable of this kind of patient, calculated revenge. She wasn't evil. She was just balancing the scales.
And in this final line, this is what turns her story from a piece of history into a timeless warning. Right before she disappeared, she supposedly told Richard Montrose that she wasn't special, that there were thousands just like her, waiting. And that final thought leaves us with a really chilling question. Was Jean some kind of one-off anomaly, or was she just the beginning? A reminder of the terrifying power that lies dormant, just waiting, right under the surface of any system that's built on oppression.